on Guam. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvo's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Apply at matson.com. Cars Plus, Guam's automotive leader in sustainability and electric vehicles. Learn more at carsplusguam.com. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
A dead shark dumped right next to the road here at the Aga Marina. While shark fishing is legal, this wasteful act is not. I'm Mitsuki Hirayama with the story.
Plus, the new compacts of free association were signed into law. Nestor Lecanto with the report on the historic day for our Pacific Island neighbors.
The NMI judiciary celebrates Women's Month. I'm Tomas Manglona with the story as 3 female NMI judges speak with high school students.
Hafidades and buenas noches. Bienvenido para KUAM News Primetime. Guahu Sinek Delgado. Over the weekend, concerned community members taking to social media bringing attention to a dead shark dumped on the roadside across the Agate Marina. The Department of Agriculture biologists and environmentalists working together to bring the shark back into the ocean while documenting the cleanup. They leave an important message to the community. Mitsuki Hirayama has the story.
Concerned community members taking to social media bringing attention to a fishy situation.
Hafide Guam, this is a very, very unnecessary death of a shark right here.
Environmentalist Farron Tyron and Department of Agriculture fisheries biologist Brent Tibbetts answering the call to investigate and properly dispose of a dead shark.
I received over the course of a couple hours Saturday morning about 10 notifications that there was a dead shark on the side of the road down here in Agate.
Dumped on the roadside just steps away from the Agate Marina on Saturday morning. The shark was shot, likely with a firearm or a bang stick.
There was some penetration wounds on the top side, just in front of the dorsal fin and a little to the right side. And as we got inside and looking for damage, it looked like the part of the liver was just obliterated.
It's unclear what exactly happened.
It was unfortunate trying to decide why the shark had been dropped there. If it was somebody just kind of being spiteful, killing a shark, maybe it took their bait or something, or that they thought that they were going to be in trouble.
But whether a fisherman decided he didn't want his 140-pound catch anymore, or if it fell out of a vehicle, Tyron and Tibbetts both say the end result was no accident.
It's just across the street here, and it's a straight, flat section of road. There's no turns, there's no up and down, there's no bouncing. And so for it to have come off by accident seems really unlikely.
If it had fallen off of somebody's truck, I would think that they would notice it and would have come back to pick it up, I think.
It's why they're reminding the community that shark fishing may be legal, but wanton waste like this is a crime.
They're just fun to be around, so if you don't really love eating them, just let them be.
You're not breaking the law if you catch one, but if you want it, keep it to eat. If you don't want it, let it go. It's only illegal if you cut the fins off or if you throw it away. No use at all, such as what happened here.
It should be noted the dead shark was not missing its fins or teeth. The brazen act happening just across the marina has Tyron wondering how often this happens out of sight.
It kind of just made me, the gears turn in my brain, wondering about those types of situations where it's not incredibly obvious as this, and just makes me wish we could do better.
Meantime, the shark has been returned to the ocean, back to being a part of the marine ecosystem's circle of life. Mitsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
The special session called by the governor last week to address concerns over the lack of representation by the Attorney General's office came and went without any legislative action. Senators convened Friday afternoon to address 3 bills to provide more flexibility for agencies who say key projects cannot move forward without the AG's legal advice. But after 3 hours, the deliberations were abruptly ended.
Senator Fisher, on the amendment, you are recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I move to adjourn, subject to the call of the Speaker.
There's a motion to adjourn, subject to the call of the Speaker. Is there an objection? There's an objection. All in favor, please raise your hand. That motion carries. I guess no urgency here. Colleagues, we're adjourned.
But Adelup is keeping the heat on. More than 24 agency heads have sent letters to the Speaker warning the consequences of AG Moylan's temporary withdrawal of legal representation. The governor has described the move as, quote, a reckless decision to disregard his Organic Act responsibilities. Moylan says he temporarily withdrew to avoid a conflict of interest in ongoing cases. He says he will continue to represent the agencies, but using a caveat that he does not represent the department heads directly. A court hearing is expected to determine if the AG can prosecute agency heads and still provide civil advice to the agencies. A historic day for our Pacific Island neighbors, the FSM, Palau, and the Marshals. The new Compact of Free Association signed into law, renewing another 20 years of mutually critical ties with the United States. Nestor Lecanto reports.
The multi-nation agreement identifies a collective $7.1 billion in dramatically increased funding for the freely associated states over the next 20 years. FSM President Wesley Simona made the announcement in a national address on his official social media page.
Fellow citizens, I have the honor to speak to you today at an important milestone in the history of our beloved nation. As many of you may know, U.S. President Biden has just signed into law the Compact Amendments Act of 2023, or Compact 3. This officially opens an important next chapter in our enduring partnership.
President Simona notes there were delays and anxious moments before the signing and fears that an aggressive China could step forward.
But in this, you can be certain. At the end of the day, the FSM and the U.S. reached an agreement on an outcome that I am confident will benefit both our nations and contribute to greater peace and prosperity for our peoples and to greater security and stability for the Indo-Pacific region and the world.
The renewed deal gives the U.S. exclusive defense access to vitally strategic ocean that it has controlled since the post-World War II Trust Territory era. In exchange, the compact nations get billions in aid for education, healthcare, the environment, and infrastructure, and over the next 2 years, the FSM will receive an added infusion of $500 million to its trust fund for economic advancement.
Now that we have it, it is up to us to make the most of it by working together to make the FSM a beacon of peace, prosperity, and stability in our Indo-Pacific region. Lastly, I want to say thank you to our citizens for your patience, trust, and resilience. May God bless you all, and may God bless the Federated States of Micronesia.
Nestor Lecanto, KUAM News.
A warning tonight from the Department of Revenue and Taxation, the agency alerting the public of 2 Facebook accounts claiming to provide online services for Guam's DMV. The accounts making several posts claiming to provide the services for a fee. Rev and Tax saying they are fakes. The public is strongly advised not to respond to these posts or provide any personal information to the fake accounts. If you come across these social media scams, you're asked to report it to the numbers. Call 671-635-1840 or 1841. In Decision 2024 news, candidates are being reminded of the law in place whenever they put up their political signs. It's going to cost candidates $1,000 each time they are caught breaking the law. You may have already seen a few political signs going up. We should note no violations have been reported, but this has the Department of Public Works reminding all political candidates, proponents, and opponents of the law regulating posting of political signs. Political signs can only be placed on private property within residential and agricultural zones, commercial zones, and industrial zones. If the private property is adjacent to any roadway, political signs shall be at least 8 feet away from the paved portion of the roadway and shall not impede traffic or a driver's visibility. The Department of Public Works will be monitoring the installation locations and will be conducting enforcement. So far, more than 100 people have picked up packets for the upcoming election. Another public school making the grade following its health inspection, the Guam Department of Education announcing Atacao Elementary School passed its sanitary inspection. You may recall the home of the Halitai was forced to share its campus this school year with Juanam Guerrero Elementary until they were able to get a passing grade. Students and staff will return to the Mihal campus tomorrow, March 12th. DPW will begin its weekday bus routes for the students as well. Time for a quick break, but keep it here. More from your local news leader after the break.
Troy Polamalu Safety, a.k.a. the Quiet Storm. Troy's seen more out of the corners of his cold steel eyes than most mortal men have seen straight on. The last thing an offense would witness? A fury of flowing mane, incoming at high speed.
Hey!
Cat-like quickness and supernatural instincts like Troy's only come once in a lifetime. And oh, how grateful we are that they came in ours. No one made the beloved burg of Pittsburgh feel quite as safe as this safety. The Hyundai Tucson with advanced safety and tech, because even safeties could use a little more safety themselves.
Looks like it's prime time, huh?
Dr. Garcia?
Crest Reality Checkup.
That grimy film on your teeth is actually the buildup of plaque bacteria, which can cause cavities in months. And your toothpaste just isn't cutting it.
Most toothpaste quit working in minutes, but the antibacterial fluoride in Crest Pro Health protects for up to 12 hours.
So I can stop cavities before they start.
Can I get a latte?
The #1 toothpaste brand in America, Crest.
Unlock your brightest smile with Crest. Available now at Payless.
Welcome back to Primetime. The CNMI local and district court met with high school students for an event called Learning from the Ladies in the Law on Saipan as part of Women's Month. Regional correspondent Tomas Manglotnia reports as 3 female NMI judges convened for the talk.
The NMI local and district court celebrated Women's Month with Marianas High School students in a conversation about the legal profession with leading women.
We hope this exchange enhances and promotes diversity in the legal profession, highlights women with diverse backgrounds involved in the dispensing of justice in the courtroom.
20 judiciary professionals who are women shared their experiences with the students. And for the first time, 3 women judges from the NMI shared the stage to discuss their journeys and offer advice to youth interested in the field.
I was at age 34 starting out law school, so it's a profession that is pretty flexible in terms of what you want to do after high school and get a degree in something else. You can still become a lawyer.
This generation of students have much more opportunities than we had going. You have an opportunity to see what it feels or could be like if you pursue law.
One student asked the judges what they love most about being a woman.
1, we're always right. No?
Yes, sir.
All right. 2, we get our own month, Women's Month. But 3, as I sit here today in the year 2024, I can say I can do everything a man can do. I have the privilege to do everything that a man can do.
Tomas Manglotnia, KUAM News, Saipan.
Well, March is Women's History Month, and every Monday during the month, we are shining the spotlight on women in different industries with Her Story. Tonight, we take a look at some incredible women in the field of healthcare.
My name is Mariana Cook-Huen. I'm a 40-year-old family medicine obstetrician. That means that I get to take care of women, men, and children of all ages, and also focus on women's health and pregnancy care. I've been on Guam practicing medicine since residency since 2016, so about 7 years now, coming on 8.
My name is Christiana Santos Whitman. I am 41 years old, and currently I work as a project director with Guam Focus on Life, which is a suicide prevention program at Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center.
Dr. Alexandra Leon Guerrero. I am a general surgeon with a specialty training in minimally invasive surgery and advanced laparoscopic surgery. I have been a doctor for a long time, it seems, but I've been in practice as a full-fledged surgeon for 4 years.
I just always envisioned myself in some form of helping field, and I gravitated toward things like psychology and human services and sort of the, I guess, looking at social services in general. Counseling really spoke to me as I was working and I was in grad school. So just that ability to kind of create spaces and relationships with individuals and promote change within them.
My father, the late Anthony Leon Guerrero, he always used to encourage me to try to discover my passions. He would say, as long as you're doing what you're passionate about, everything else should just fall into place. When I was in high school and college, he became sick, and that's when I really got firsthand exposure to the medical field.
My mom was a nurse, still is a nurse, and she was my first exposure to the medical field. But it was really the summer in college when I did an internship at Mariana's Physicians Group, where I'm currently employed. And I worked with a now retired internist named Dr. Ellen Bez. And I really learned the firsthand exposure of what health disparities look like for the people of Guam. I also was able to be with her with patients and see how trusted and compassionate a doctor could be and what a significant role they could play in people's lives.
I always tell myself to stay grounded. Even when I'm driving and I'm feeling like stressed out or anxious, I just remind myself, like, stay grounded. And so it has a very physical meaning for me, like kind of just, check in with myself physically, but also like mentally and emotionally, like don't let yourself lose sight of what like the bigger goal is, and remember where you came from, or remember where I came from and how I started, and who really impacts me and who I'm doing all this for.
There's a Henry David Thoreau quote that says, "Go confidently in the directions of your dreams. Just keep swimming," because it is a struggle some days to practice medicine on Guam with the limited healthcare resources that we have.
Trust your gut. I am a gastrointestinal surgeon.
When I feel like dancing and having a good vibe, I go to Lizzo, Good as Hell. That's always a good one. There's one by Andy Grammer called Good to Be Alive. And when I'm feeling kind of more a local vibe, kind of islandy, I Can See Clearly Now by Jimmy Cliff. I do have my operating room playlist. It's really just a compilation of eclectic songs, some top 40, some island, some hip hop, some dance music. It's usually something upbeat to keep me focused when I'm operating.
There's a lot of songs that make me feel really good, and I don't know if it's because it's Mesh Chamorro, but I've been gravitating toward a lot of like local Chamorro music, and I have the Mariana's Homegrown, the CD. My car is not that new, so it's the CD in my car right now, and so Inner Voices always gets me.
I often refer to being a woman, or in my profession too, as being an acrobat. We have to balance, we have to juggle, we have to walk a tightrope sometimes, we have to awe people, we have to amaze. We're always constantly being pulled in different directions, and we kind of always have to be on our game and have this kind of just presence of being with it. People will always say, how are you doing this all? And there are days when I don't know how I'm doing it all. We lead with confidence, we lead with compassion, but we also have to be very respectful and professional and humble in order to kind of make our way through. And it's really when we thrive is when we have other women in our corner, strong women who lift us up and cheer us on, and that's when the sky's the limit and we can accomplish anything.
For me, in my career, being a woman has been to allow myself to take up space, to basically know that I'm a skilled surgeon, I'm smart, I'm capable, I'm worthy to be in that role. And if, in the words of Taylor Swift, if I were a man, I'd be the man.
I always think of the word maternal, and not in the sense of like being a mother, like a biological or a physical mother, but just having those qualities of like care and support and nurturing, and also that idea that you're kind of raising people up, you know, and like, so it's raising up, you know, those who are before you or beside you, or, you know, giving people that sense of like empowerment. That's really what I think of when I'm thinking of what it is to be a woman.
This past weekend hosted a lot of community activities all around the island, from goodwill to entertainment to sports. But one annual event downtown was arguably the spectator event, thrilling the onlookers and showcasing some true heroes. Jason Salas takes you to Hagåtña with the details on the firefighter competition.
For almost 4 decades, the Guam Fire Department has been ready to answer the sudden call that something's not right, that someone's in trouble, that someone out there needs a hero, or simply that some exceptional people, trained and willing to step up, do just that.
So this is our annual Fire Recognition Week. We celebrate the birth of the Guam Fire Department March 13, 1985, when we separated from the Department of Public Safety.
It takes a special breed to be a firefighter, and the job has many traditions. And downtown, another custom was held, GFD's annual muster event, equal parts celebration and competition between the 12 firehouses, 3 rescue stations, and various staffers exhibiting the skills required for their profession, and to secure some good old-fashioned clout.
That's the kind of culture that we foster in the Guam Fire Department through our core values of professionalism, respect, integrity, dedication, and empathy.
Bragging rights are a beautiful thing, too.
Absolutely, yeah. Bragging rights, you get it for a whole year. And, you know, in my time as a firefighter, we took the championship, my station crew, and it's nothing like having the bragging rights for a year.
A time-honored skill is preparing hearty meals to fuel your crew. So the Best Karumpika event was one all teams took super serious. And like any role in GFD, they brought their best.
Firemen, we eat till we're tired and then we sleep till we're hungry. No, but 6 square meals a day. No, we don't.
Small, tiny meals keeps the furnace burning.
Yeah.
Rookie firefighter Sonia Sanchez cruised through the obstacle course, giving insight on the common characters shared by those who aren't just coworkers.
And I think you have to be set in what your intentions are when you come into the department, and not shy away from anything that may seem too difficult for a woman.
So while this weekend's muster showcased their skills, it also demonstrated their readiness. Always ready to roll when that call comes in.
A fire is fire, and you're going to be tested, and we got to be ready to respond at any given time. So this is kind of a good way to display that, to show the public, and a small way to give the public the confidence that when we come, we're coming with everything that we bring, and they're going to be safe with us.
Now for a look at your world at home. Here's a view captured from the Palau Abai Cultural Center in Dededo.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replace, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Try new McDonald's sauce now.
Now?
Huh? The race to McDonald's is on!
I will win!
Welcome!
I guess we both win.
Try new savory chili McDonald's sauce, only at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, go!
There is a research conference coming up, and make sure to check out Dean's Circle over at the University of Guam for Pacific Futurism. Now, this looks super interesting. I'm going to go check this out. It's running until the 23rd. It's an exhibition right now, Monday through Friday, 10 to 5. Celebrating Mes Tomorrow, stop by the Guam Kaha Gallery on the second floor of the DNA building, and you can check out Biba Mes Tomorrow. That is literally the title of this exhibit, and why not? It's amazing. It's Monday through Friday, 9 to 4. Make sure to check that out. Kaha, once again, the DNA building downtown. And if you're up in Saipan, we have news bites for you. Make sure on the 23rd, make plans starting at 9 in the morning. The NMI Humanities Council at Springs Plaza is hosting My Marianas. It's a writing contest, and you are highly encouraged to get involved. And you are highly encouraged to do any of the news bites, because we only put them here if they're awesome. And that's why we have so many, because that's what we do right here on Guam.
Now for your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shout-out submitted on KUAM.com.
Birthday time, everybody. Let's do this. Happy birthday to Tano Anthony. Happiest 12th birthday, Tano. Wishing you all the love and happiness this life has to offer. Heart emoji, and your whole familia is giving you the big smile. And we hope you have a fantastic 12th birthday. Belated birthday love going out to Trisha Manabusin, who celebrated birthday number 41 on the 9th. Happy birthday, Trish, with many more years to come and with lots of love from your family. And Oli Ancheta, also born on the 9th, wishing the happiest of birthdays to the queen of our clan, Miss Oli. Love your family in Texas and California. And Miss Oli, right here on Guam too. So we hope you, Trisha and Tano, had the best birthday ever.
Estagi Idzun Mizu Primetime Show, si Duas Ma, si Put Nenega, Guahu Sinek Delgado. Adios.
The island of Guam, a slice of paradise, a beauty rich in its culture and heritage. This month, we celebrate the Chamorro people. Still, the price of calling this place home has only skyrocketed, all while the world around us continues waging a war with Guam, the tip of the spear in the middle. At least 20 years of reported threats to Guam from North Korea. The past decade, Guam has been under heightened protection, with billions being poured into the defense spending budget. That, plus a high-tech system armed to target a missile on course for our island. I'm Destiny Cruz with KUAM News. We bring you our latest special, Guarding the Tip of the Spear. The Guam National Guard recently gave us exclusive access to Site Excalibur. It's the new home to the missile defense system. A look at that, plus we revisit some of the events of years past that led us to the push for this specific protection for Guam. Site Excalibur on Guam. It's January 2024. Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Stafford greets us ahead of touring the site. He's the commander of Task Force Talon.
Back in 2012 timeframe, North Korea was making some very specific threats against Guam with their ballistic missiles. They had really increased their ballistic missile activity. And so during that time frame, we didn't have an organic missile defense asset here on Guam to protect it.
A time now more than a decade ago.
In the 2013 timeframe, our THAAD system, Theater High Altitude Air Defense System, had just come online. And with that system, we were able to deploy it here back in April of 2013, provide a persistent missile defense capability for all the people here on Guam. And so now the task force has been here for over 10 years, providing that missile defense for this island.
In March 2013, North Korea ordered all of its field artillery units, including strategic rocket units and long-range artillery unit, to be on high alert.
That there are multi-layered defense systems.
The administration on Guam paying close attention. The U.S. military then also had B-52 bombers participating in military exercises in South Korea. It's news the North did not take well.
A threat from that and an execution of a threat would be met with defensive action and, if needed, offensive action to stop the threat.
The leadership there in North Korea obviously is unpredictable. That the U.S. is in the peacekeeping and deterring war role. That response to threats like that won't be taken lightly.
Koreans that called Guam home chimed in on the threats to the island.
Our community worry about North Korea's keep on threatening about even South Korea and U.S., including Guam and Okinawa. Particularly as the Korean community, also we are families in still Korea, so we scare and worry.
The Korean community on Guam taking each threat seriously, and the rest of the world watched as those threats lingered on.
The North Koreans have to understand that what they're doing is very dangerous.
The same concerns brought up by local educators the months that followed.
This is something that is now going to be part of our lives from here on. Just because maybe we're not going to have a attack, that doesn't mean that that threat is ever going to go away. And so because of that, obviously it is concerning for a lot of people in our community. And it's important that we provide the kind of context that we can to let people be able to move on with their lives.
A year later in Washington, then Congresswoman Madeline Bordalio answering questions about the defense system being placed on Guam.
The people of Guam are very supportive of THAAD remaining on the island, but we acknowledge it may have to redeploy if other contingencies arise. So that said, can you comment on efforts to keep the THAAD on Guam and in the coming years?
We're at least working to see what it would take to sustain the THAAD battery there for the long term. And we're working with the Air Force. So we're taking it, and we're looking at it from an Army perspective. What would it mean if we had to sustain that there for the long term in terms of rotational capabilities, the type of that. So we're clearly looking at that and preparing if that decision is made that we want to leave it there. The deployment has gone very well. We're very pleased with the support we've gotten there. I know the PACOM commander supports it staying there in Guam.
By November 2016, the first forward-deployed THAAD battery was permanently put in place on Guam.
We engage missiles in what we call the terminal phase.
Military officials have said the defense system relies on both human and computer capabilities and has proven to work against cyber attacks. But it is in 2017 all eyes were back on Guam as the threats from North Korea heated up tremendously. A look back at that and more coming up. You're watching a KUAM News special guarding the tip of the spear.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Guam is the target. That was the threat sent across the globe from North Korea in 2017. I'm Destiny Cruz. You're watching a KUAM News special, Guarding the Tip of the Spear. While all eyes were on our tiny island that year, the people here still continued with life as they knew it.
Coming to you this Wednesday morning with the developing story today involving the U.S. and North Korea, Guam at the center of it all today. It would take 14 to 15 minutes for a missile launched from North Korea to reach us here in the territory.
A scare that brought so many to the island to witness the threat all unfold.
This is not the first time that North Korea has made threats, and it certainly won't be the last. So while we take North Korea very, very seriously enough that we put a THAAD battery in Guam several years ago, I share Secretary Tillerson's view that there's no imminent threat to Guam right now.
Guam is the target, the impending threat coming from the North Korean regime.
I'm not really nervous. I'm pretty confident in our military capability.
I guess the first thing that comes to mind is, immediately first, where is my family? To come up with a plan about if anything happens and we're apart. Where do we meet, and if we're all separated?
Well, if the United States says they're going to give them a last warning, they should, because it's going to keep escalating.
President Donald Trump warning the North's Kim Jong-un about targeting American soil.
Let's see what he does with Guam. He does something in Guam, it will be an event the likes of which nobody's seen before, what will happen in North Korea.
Fortunately, the threat was just that, and nothing more. The 2017 scare only warranted greater defense.
This marks the first time that a terminal high-altitude area defense task force security mission transitions between Army and National Guard Army units.
Guam troops taking on the responsibility to be a close player in the defense of the island. In February 2019, the THAAD security was transferred to the Guam National Guard.
Your work over the last year has indeed brought us a sense of comfort and a peace of mind. And now, soldiers from a tiny yet powerful place will be taking over to relieve you so you can return to your home and loved ones.
We had a great training with them, and they're very capable, and they'll do an excellent job picking up where we left off. So the people of Guam should rest assured that they're in safe hands.
The mission growing as plans for expanded missile defense capabilities to be put in place across the island, and deployments for Guam's troops that on this mission keeps them here.
This formation behind us, with their mission, it's the most critical for the future conflicts to prevent that.
There's really nothing better than National Guard soldiers actively participating in defending their homeland.
Even after a pandemic, global attention on defense expansion in Guam never waned. A 360 air and missile defense system proposed.
Guam is being used as an experimental test site for missile defense development in general. Guam is being shaped into a laboratory for a conflict ecosystem in the Indo-Pacific, and we have no real choice in the matter.
Locals and politicians shared concern during a town hall at Guam's legislature just last summer.
Most people I talk to about this, and I'd be talking to everyone around me. They share my same concerns, but they feel powerless. What can I do? I can't do nothing, it's just gonna go on. And when there's a people such as ourselves that are so politically powerless, we need our elected officials to step up. We need you to fight for us, please. All of our children's lives is at stake. We're talking about war with China where we get destroyed for imperial purposes.
It's going to take more land away from Chamorro people. It's going to make us more vulnerable when we're already so vulnerable here on our island. We have to look at all of these existing problems and measure this as a new challenge, a new risk. Not to mention, that these reactors will be all around the island. These launchers will be all around the island. not just on the base, but in the community, and how that's also going to impact our relations with other people or even visitors coming to Guam.
We know that the threat to the community is being spread beyond the bases and into the broader community.
I think the most important part of what we've learned, it's very little, but they've established that 20 sites have been selected based on extensive siting studies to confirm alternative site selection, optimize system performance, and optimize facility.
But it hasn't affected the defense mission.
This is it's an honor to be a part of this mission. It's something that allows us to serve both the people of the United States and the people of Guam. As our speakers said, Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio and our TAG General Cruz both said, that it's important to the people of Guam, because we are going to be protecting an asset that defends our homeland. This is just as important as any other mission going overseas.
Guam's been through generations of trying to defend its people. This year, we commemorate 80 years since being liberated from Japanese occupation. But the ongoing divide in the discussion on how to guard Guam has really no end in sight. Next, a look at Site Excalibur and the men and women who are a part of all of it. More of your KUAM News special, Guarding the Tip of the Spear, in just a moment.
For the first time in 30 years, Coors Light has an ad in the big game.
Actually, this is a Miller Lite commercial.
Mountain Cold Refreshment.
It's Miller time. Great taste. Less filling.
Cold as the Rockies.
Coors commercial. Miller commercial.
Actually, it's a Blue Moon commercial.
Order Pizza Hut now and get a free large pizza later. That's a free pizza on your next order. So you can pizza now, then pizza again. Free pizza means your next dinner is covered. Your future self will thank you. Get it while it's hot. Only at Pizza Hut.
A couple soldiers stationed in Guam and 100 operating Japan-based radars, all set up in the northern part of the island and under the watch of Task Force Talon. I'm Destiny Cruz. This is a KUAM News special, Guarding the Tip of the Spear. For the remainder of your show, we bring you along for our exclusive tour of Site Excalibur. From Andersen Air Force Base to South Finnegodson, this is the site you need to know about. It's where the Terminal High Altitude Missile Defense System is currently located. Bringing us along for the tour is Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Stafford. He's the commander of Task Force Talon, all too familiar with threat after threat after threat. So how do you guys feel? You guys are here, boots on the ground.
Yeah, so our soldiers are very well trained and our systems is very capable. So for any threats coming from North Korea, feel confident that we will be able to protect this island from those threats.
The team is set up outdoors. You do have a very impressive setup over here, so can you kind of take us through this?
Yes.
All right.
All right, so at this time, I'll go ahead and introduce you to Captain Borgonia. So Captain Borgonia, he is our security force commander here for the THAAD site, and he's part of the Guam National Guard, who are very, very important mission partners for Task Force Talon to be able to execute our defensive Guam mission here.
This commander shows us the layout of the defense system and its surrounding area. It's their combat zone. Defense project, which includes building a 360-degree missile defense system in multiple locations across Guam. The increase in security motivated by potential threats from China and North Korea. The Missile Defense Agency estimates the expansion will be operational by 2027.
Hi, good morning, ma'am. Welcome to Site Excalibur.
Captain Borgonia is the Sec 4 commander with the Guam National Guard. The area is all mapped out.
Currently, we're over here at Site Excalibur. Ordering you to the north is Camp Blas, and then we have Site Armadillo, which used to be the old THAAD site. Over here to the south, we have Guam Regional Medical Center, which is the local hospital. To the west is Tangison, which is the man-made water beach. And then where you guys came along was Route 3. Going over to our area of operations actually this is the site Excalibur where you guys are currently at now. We're currently here at our Battle Operations Center, the B-Dock, and which you guys came over through the entry control point. Our mission is to conduct an area defense in order to secure the key assets.
A mission they do by manning 24/7 security operations. Soldiers are assigned to keep watch at physical towers, others on patrol conducting checks at least hourly. Cameras are strategically placed throughout for surveillance, and the troops conduct constant checks of perimeter wires. But the mission is more than just protecting the THAAD.
This mission is very personal to us as we have a big key stakeholder piece. These assets protect our home, our family, and our friends. So having a role in this is...
Thank you so much for your service. We really are appreciative of you guys letting us into your work that you're doing, and we really want to highlight the stories of all of you soldiers. So without further ado, is it okay if we take a visit to the site?
Absolutely.
His duty to protect his loved ones and his island home. We meet others on the team who share that pride.
Thank you guys for letting us in today. My cameraman's coming in. We just want to capture all the great work that you guys are doing, kind of get to know what the mission is, what you guys' daily life looks like, and I understand this mission is especially close to home, being from Guam.
Assigned to one of the tower's specialist Blas. He says he grew up around the military lifestyle.
Being soldiers from Guam, we take a lot of pride in this mission is specifically to protect our families and in the capability of defending the Marianas also.
Right, so can you tell me a little bit about your family?
Family, I come from a family of vets, so you know they really inspire me to do this, and to have the privilege to be on this mission, it really motivates me more to defend the Marianas and our island.
Yeah. What has your family response been like, you being out here?
You know, they continue to support and make sure that we're okay. So
yeah, so definitely they're proud.
Yes,
of course.
Very proud.
Just like the rest of the island, definitely proud of you guys. And I just wanted to ask if there's a message that you'd like to send to your fellow soldiers, what would that message be?
Stay motivated.
These troops staying motivated even knowing the mission is risky. Thank you for all your service. Your KUAM News special, Guarding the Tip of the Spear, will be back after this.
Brian Dawkins, Safety, aka Weapon X. Brian laughs at audibles, laughs. For there is nothing he does not anticipate. He is never caught off guard because his guard is always up. His skills of perception are honed like talons. Brian sees all. He knows all. Dominates all. His defensive prowess is feared the world over. The all-electric Hyundai Ioniq 5 with advanced safety and tech. Because even safeties could use a little more safety themselves. Search for your Hyundai Ioniq 5 today.
South Korea's Ministry of National Defense reportedly announced an environmental assessment to provide support for the expansion of the U.S. military's deployment of the THAAD system. The Missile Defense Agency continues to support these defense mechanisms, allotting a substantial budget of $801 million for Guam defense in fiscal year 2024. I'm Destiny Cruz. This is a KUAM News special, Guarding the Tip of the Spear. 2024 started off with this exclusive look at Site Excalibur. The unit less than a year prior had to respond to a natural disaster.
This unit specifically was activated for Typhoon Mawar response. So being able to get back to our community, we came from the Greenway sites. We joined the Guam Army National Guard because this is our home.
Safety is priority for these soldiers assigned to protect the THAAD system in South Minagadsa, Guam. Task Force Talent Commander Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Stafford led us a tour of the site recently. He shared the job here also gives them the sense that they are giving back to the community.
Many of our soldiers have served in overseas locations before, like I've served in Iraq and Afghanistan, so we know how to work in austere conditions.
Each of the soldiers we met up with seemed to be on the same page about the mission.
We're responsible for the employment of our THAAD weapon system to provide ballistic missile defense to all of Guam and the Marianas region.
Captain Riley Campbell is the Echo 3 THAAD commander.
A threat from North Korea, we have a high capability to engage that threat. And it's not just if it's factoring a military base, we are going to defend all of Guam. So no matter where that threat is inbound, whether it's down in Tumon or factoring a military base, we are going to defend all of Guam and have that high capability to engage that threat.
Right, and you guys are standing guard here 24/7. So for those who may not be aware, what is the THAAD?
So we are a terminal high altitude air defense system. We are capable of engaging ballistic missile threats from North Korea and China as well. So we are here just to provide that coverage of any threat from one of our adversaries to defend the island and this homeland.
Right, and how many soldiers are currently standing watch in this particular area?
So we have over 60 soldiers assigned to our unit, and we operate in a crew status.
The job requires each to stay alert at all times.
We operate in a 3-crew rotational status, so we don't have soldiers working a prolonged period of time to maintain their proficiency and readiness. But between our 3 crews, very proficient, very capable of engaging any threat that would be inbound to the island.
Special Joseph Cristobal walks us through what happens when he shows up for duty.
My daily routine for that site is ensuring the equipment stays functional, ensuring that in the command post for myself is ensuring that because I relay information to our higher echelon units. Pretty much just my job is purely reports. That's really, yeah.
Me too. I feel you on that. So what does it feel like, especially in light of, threats coming out of North Korea? How does it feel to be standing watch for the entire community?
It's a big responsibility because, well, for one, it's the way we put it is we're the tip of the spear of defending of the homeland defense. So it's, and we just got to keep our mind ensuring that we stay resilient and ensuring to protect of Guam and also of our mainland homeland.
Staff Sergeant Rainbold gives us a closer view of the THAAD.
So this is the THAAD radar. This is the eyes of our system. This is how we see everything that fire control and our launchers see, and so it helps us do our job, right?
Right.
So our pieces of equipment that we have behind us here, we have our PPUs, which generate our power, our CU, which is our cooling system, and our radar, which is right behind me, which is the actual eyes. And then we have our other piece of equipment over here, which is our EEU. That's the manned portion. So that's where myself or my soldiers would actually be inside controlling the radar itself.
It's the eyes of the system.
This is going to see any incoming ballistic threats that are coming up, so that our fire control can see those threats and launch our missiles, and then our radar actually helps the missiles track towards that particular incoming target.
If ever activated, at least 3 soldiers will be used at any given time to man the system. But there's a risky part of that job.
This emits radio frequency and at very, very high levels. So as we have our keep out zone that's roped off, that is inside of our site, and like Colonel Stafford was saying, we have several physical measures that we take to make sure that everybody is safe within our site, including our Sec 4 people and our people and any civilians that are here.
This THAAD launcher can hold up to 8 interceptor missiles, where they will attack and defend any of our assets from any enemy ballistic missiles. So over here, you can see it holds up to 8, and they are in place here on these outrigger pads right here, where it'll stabilize and keep the launcher as center and level as possible. That way it has maximum efficiency to properly and defend any of our ballistic missiles.
Wow. So if you can kind of give our viewers an idea, what does it look like to operate this equipment?
So to operate this equipment, what we would do is it is a two-man crew. So I would have one person be designated over here along these handles where they would help elevate the launcher as well. And on this side, there are also more levers and handles where we can erect the launcher and have it fully centered to standard angle, so where they can all face the same direction and take down anything that comes over this direction.
Sergeant Zamora says the THAAD launchers only take 2 soldiers at any given time to set up and ensure it's safe to operate. Still, each soldier assigned here plays a vital role in defending the THAAD and its mission.
We'll always be here for you guys. We're really quick. We know what we're doing. We're on top of our game, and I trust our leadership and our soldiers that we will be able to get the job done no matter what.
A job that comes with sacrifice and assurances that this team will stay ready to guard the tip of the spear.
I hope you, as well as your viewers, feel more confident in our system and our soldiers that are out here doing this defensive Guam mission. We take this very, very seriously, and we are bringing the best soldiers and equipment to protect this island. And then secondly, I want to point out that take pride in your Guam National Guard. The National Guard has been just amazing mission partners. This mission without them. So great soldiers there in the Guam National Guard. For Task Force Talon. And so,
thank you so
much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. Well, again, you guys, that completes our tour of the THAAD site today. Stick around. We might be back.
Dozens of more missile launches from North Korea have sparked responses from Guam Homeland Security, Office of Civil Defense, to notify the island of any potential threat. Luckily, each notification led with no immediate threat, and it appears the defense operations are only growing in the region. I'm Destiny Cruz. Thank you for joining us for your KUAM News special, Guarding the Tip of the Spear. Be safe.